Ladies and gentlemen, we are here at another Toyota Southwest Superlate race at Willow Springs International Raceway. A warm day, a 90-degree day, a little bit windy as you see on the front straightaway. The flags are flowing, and right now your leader, Gil Chase, in the number 63 going into turn number 1. Let's show you how these guys started this one out. On the pole, it was the number 63 of Gil Chase. Second spot would be the 65 of George Atkinson Jr. Starting third, the number 59 of Todd Southwell. Fourth starter, the 22, and one to keep your eye on today, Andrew Muskinell. Fifth place starter is the number 5, Dana Moore. And starting sixth would be the 29 of Corey Fancy. Starting seventh, the number 33, Frank Cervetto. Starting eighth, that'd be the driver of the number 14, Mike Kasser. Starting in the ninth spot, the number 70, Greg Austin. 10th starter, the 51 of Steve Hamilton. 11th starter, the 29 of Gary Dion. And 12th starter would go to the 3 of Mario Gutierrez. And rounding out this show, the number 59, the number 95 of Steve Resniewicki, not Bear Resniewicki. Bear, unfortunately sick, not able to show up. So Steve Resniewicki in that car. Jeffrey, welcome to another Toyota Southwest Superlate race, round number 3 of the season.
You know what I like two things about today? Great weather, and with it comes less wind. You see the battle going on. Gil Chase already has a major lead so far in this race. Corey Fancy going to try and chase him down, it looks like, but not able to get around. I thought he was going to be able to get around that number 59 machine.
Todd Southwell, the black car, the number 59. He's leading Corey Fancy, George Atkinson Jr., and Andrew Muskinell into turn number 1. A good 4-car group going down the straightaway, if you will, going into turn number 2 there. And so one cool thing about this track is the view you have. No matter where you stand, you get to see the whole facility. Gil Chase, still your leader, going through turn number 3 now, and here they come at you into turn 3. The battle we were just talking about. Todd Southwell leading that group, a great 4-car battle.
Yeah, you see Muskinell hanging right there. How about Dana Moore also with a pretty good qualifying run in this one, starting up in the pack? Tommy, there's a couple things we need to talk about. One car didn't even get to the starting lineup. That being Andrew Porter. Did not start for him because he actually had some mechanical issues. I believe it was the ignition?
Something in the ignition electrical system, not able to perform. Actually, I think sizzled out. So that car died, unfortunately, I think right before qualifying.
And I believe you just mentioned this, but Bear Resniewicki sick today, and we know him as a heavy contender for this championship.
Absolutely, and big props to Steve Resniewicki for coming out all by himself, towing from Las Vegas to Willow Springs, no crew, all himself, coming out here, wrenching that car and driving it to keep himself and that number 95 machine in the points battle to try to win a brand new 2013 Toyota pickup truck, a Toyota Tundra that is. This battle has not cooled down at all, and Todd Southwell driving the number 59 today, replacing Kevin O'Connell, who is at Mid-Ohio for the nationwide race.
That's right. Now, Gil Chase, just to give you an idea, has about a 4-second lead right now over Southwell. And Chase, we saw him capture the victory in the first race of this one. If you have not seen that race, you have to.
Oh, Muskinell slideways. I'm sorry.
It's a hot day here at Willow.
It is. It's about 90 degrees, and you can see the wind coming off the guy's shirt down there.
But not like we've had before, although you did still leave the porta potty open.
I'm sorry. I remembered to flush, though. Give me props on that.
Hey, you're the master of disaster.
There's always something that I forget, so I apologize.
Now, Tommy, we talk a lot about the way this race is set up. You can't just go out and get as far away as you can from these guys because you're going to all come together at the end. 5-lap shootout, and the thing that, it's the Golden West trailer shootout, but you do want to win that because there comes an award with that.
That's true. So like you said, you have to set yourself up for that. It's a 5-lap shootout, and you can't burn all your stuff down in the first 15.
This is the best battle on track right now.
Yeah, I believe this is the only battle on track. Here we go into turn number 1. It would be Southwell, the veteran out here. He's a veteran in these type of cars on this at Willow Springs International Raceway. But Corey Fancy putting on a charge on the back bumper of that 59. Let's look back through here. You see Kaiser going into turn 1. Good to see him back out here in the number 14. But up through the hill, they're coming into the screen. Chase, your leader, and he's making time over the second spot. That's a good-looking car and a very good running car. Battle for the second spot.
Corey Fancy going for it on Southwell. Now, we talked a little bit about this, in that...
Muskinel sideways again.
Hey, he's reminding me of Porter right now.
Yeah.
You saw how sideways that guy gets. Now, there's still about a 4-second gap between these guys when they went into turn number 3. I'm really thinking that they're not losing time on Chase right now, but the problem, well, I say that, it does look like Chase is pulling away just a little bit. How about the 33 machine? A new name in that car.
A new name, Frank Servetto. I do wonder if Devin Hayes got called out to a race, or a fire, I'm sorry.
Gary Dion, you see him? Yeah, it's true. It is true. We saw one on our way to a racetrack this weekend, and it was, you never know with those fires.
Gary Dion, like you were pointing him out, do paint job, if you will, on that 29 machine. Good to see Gary back out here. And they are still battling for the second spot into turn number 1.
This is a great race between these competitors. SouthWest Superlates, this is what it's all about right now, because for these guys, we've talked about this, Tommy. It's the opportunity to have a great series with great sponsors behind them, and it's really been fun to watch. Kind of like how they put the United Rental sign upside down.
Hey, upside down and wide open. That's what Gil Chase is doing right now. Not the upside down part, but look at Fancy making a charge. He drove it in that corner pretty well, and now he's looking to the high side, now to the low side of this corner. But it's one thing to catch up to the veteran, it's another thing to pass.
Southwell caught Dion at the best possible point for him. He didn't lose any time right now. You see, Atkinson might actually have some trouble with Dion, because in a track like this, you have to really know where you go. Dion, though, gets way out of the way. Muskinel sideways again.
Absolutely. Well, here it is. This race is shaping up for a good shootout here. The break will be coming up in a little bit, but this battle for second spot has not cooled down at all. Fancy and Southwell, I almost said O'Connell, are really still in the show.
I keep thinking it too, don't worry. You see Fancy has a better exit here on the 59 machine. We'll see if he can use that momentum down the front straight away.
Now, speaking of the veteran, of course, Fancy with a lot of track time here, and he's looking to the inside, going into turn 1, and it looks like Southwell will give it to him, letting the faster car go possibly.
Now, do you think that was a bit of a strategy call by Southwell because he wants to preserve his equipment?
I was literally just going to say that the veteran in Southwell, he does not want to keep burning up his stuff, either stay in front of him or let him go. I mean, let Fancy try to burn up his stuff, or just get in a rhythm, because this shootout, when it comes up, it'll be interesting.
Absolutely. You saw Moore and Servetto. I noticed the number 70 of Greg Austin kind of closing in on that battle as well. We know that he's been kind of struggling with a lot of mechanical problems with that car. Looks like he's got it running good today.
Correct. Muskinel, I mentioned in the driver lineup that he's one to keep your eye on, and unless he's holding his own and just kind of waiting for the shootout, it looks like he's got too fast of a car under his right foot. There's Greg Austin, the number 70. He's catching in. Servetto trying to get a piece of more through the S's, if you will.
Kind of looking through the field, the 14, Mike Kasser. He's also coming on through.
Matt Kasser started in the 8th spot. So
now, if you couldn't tell already, looking down this front straightaway, Toyota is a pretty big part of Willow Springs International.
They are a big part of the series as well. The Toyota SouthWest Superlate, thank you, Toyota, for coming on board in this series again, and in a big way, chance to win a Toyota Tundra, and they brought their models. Toyota SouthWest Superlate girls were on hand earlier today, walking around the pit area, meeting and greeting with all the fans. And Toyota, a major part of this track as well. Of course, Toyota, if you didn't know this, Jeffrey, are the official vehicles of this track as well. I mean, look at the pace car. Look at all the safety vehicles. Everything's Toyota out here.
We drive Toyotas.
We do. But we weren't sponsored by Toyota. But it's okay.
Maybe someday.
Someday over the rainbow.
That, you know, it looks like Muscino may have the faster car between him and Atkinson in this battle for 4th, but I don't, it's just, there's certain spots where you kind of can catch the guy and can pass. There's a lot of different passing points. I think going into turn 1's a popular one because you get that momentum or it'll pick up a lot of speed. You have a better exit. That's your chance to get around. We'll see if Muscino can use that to his advantage.
And I would like to put a little bit of a spotlight on that 65. George Atkinson Jr. We, to be honest, haven't really seen him run this well in this series. He started 2nd spot. He was 2nd fastest today. Or I'm sorry, he started 2nd spot, and he is holding his own in the 4th position. So great run for that 65 George Atkinson Jr. so far in this one. And it, like we were mentioning, it does look like this field is settling in. I mean, tires are a major part on this hot day. You can't burn them up, and the track is definitely greasy. So tires are a virtue. Steve Hamilton, that number 51 machine. Good to see him out here. And Moore and Servetto duking it out, going down the short chute, if you will.
It seems like there's several battles that continue on in this race. And it's kind of what I've said. It looks like today drivers are having a little bit of trouble getting around.
Yes.
So maybe, like you said, the track's slick. The cars aren't quite underneath them. But it looks like Servetto's trying to make a move.
He is. He was looking at the inside of Moore. Yeah, that's what you can't do. Talk about slick tires right now. The track's greasy.
And Greg Austin again in that 70 machine closing in on this battle in a car that I think ran at Saugus Speedway, if I'm correct.
The body is a classic. Hey, I closed the door. I'm good now.
Second lap of the race wasn't good, but 126 all the way down to 130.
And here's your battle for the 2nd spot. Here comes Southwell to the inside, going into turn number 1. There's the shift cones, a down brake, and he will make the pass, retaking the 2nd spot. And now going down the short chute into turn number 2. I guess if you're to look at a map of this track, right here is the butt of the gun, if you will. Actually, not even the butt of the gun, it's a handle. But look how smooth and consistent. Oh, battle over here.
Servetto finally gets around Dana Moore. And that battle has been going on for a while as well.
Well, if Devin Hayes had to go chase a fire, and we haven't heard of Frank Servetto, he's definitely impressing us since we have never heard of him. Frank Servetto in that 33, definitely running that car like a pro out here at Willow Springs International Raceway.
Tommy, I know one thing that you always like about this racetrack is you see it from where we are. You can pretty much see the entire track. We have one angle that's slightly cut off, and that's only because we're basically in a window right now.
Correct.
However, from where we're at, if you were here, you could see everything.
Absolutely. Very, very cool track to watch racing at. And, you know, I make this joke all the time, and this is no knock on a lot of other curbs that race out here. But this is the only thing I'd ever watch out here at Willow Springs, because that, besides that and the bikes, this is real racing. Oh, more into the dirt a little bit. Trying to catch up to Servetto and trying to map his spot around Hamilton in the 51. Steve Hamilton. Good to see him out here in this Superlate series. Muscino with a big gap over this group as well.
Yeah, and speaking of Muscino, we see Atkinson is actually pulled away from him.
Yes.
So right now Atkinson trying to close in on that battle that we saw going between Southwell and Fancy.
Now one thing
Tommy.
Yes.
Nothing.
I was going to say one thing that we heard earlier today as well happens to be that during practice, Steve Resniewicz, I can't say the name anymore, Steve Resniewicz broke, I believe, a trailing arm during practice.
Really?
And I think Dave Jackson of Jackson Race Cars having to drive from Rosemont all the way back to Palmdale to grab a trailing arm to bring it back to the track in order for Steve Resniewicz to race out here today. And I left the porta potty door open again.
Well, I know you've had to use it several times.
I just keep forgetting to lock it.
All right.
Checkered flag for Gail Chase. And this is just the beginning.
Yeah,
if you will.
now that was the end of the 5.
Usually-
I'm sorry, the 15.
Yeah, usually
it's
that's
a
a
yellow
yellow flag. But it's okay, same difference. So pretty much count this as he won the 15-lap race.
Yes, he won. He won the Golden West Trailer Shootout.
Who do you expect? Do you expect anybody else in this field to stay with Gail Chase in this one? Who?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, last race, no one. I don't think any of us would have predicted that Porter really had any challengers. But strategy.
Again,
It's all about
absolutely.
strategy.
Well,
We'll see.
Southwell's looking strong. We'll find out if he can catch up to the wily veteran of Gail Chase when we come back. Well, there you see the pace car pacing the field for this 5-lap finale. Definitely
The shootout.
Definitely the most exciting portions of these races. A great call by the Toyota Southwest Superlate. Wait, let me try that again. A great call by the Toyota Southwest Superlate group to do this, because as of late, these 5-lap duels have been very exciting, and you know we're going to see a good one here.
Tommy, I am really excited about this race. You notice that not exactly all the cars have restarted. Heat's really been a factor
Yeah,
today.
it has.
And speaking of factors, how about this? Corey Fancy starting on the front, 3-car invert.
And you see, Gail Chase, your leader.
I think half the field wasn't able to restart.
I guess we saved the best for last then.
Guess so.
I guess
see.
that's what it means. So Gail Chase, your leader, starting in the 3rd spot. Todd Southwell on the outside of Corey Fancy. In this one, George Atkinson Jr., Andrew Mescanel, Frank Cervetto, and Dana Moore,
Tommy, who do you like going into this restart?
and Greg Austin. Who do I like? I have no idea. The 29, definitely the aggressive one, Corey Fancy. Todd Southwell out here for his first one. He's going to try to go big. But Gail Chase, you can't deny the veteran. The field bunched up, and we're ready to go racing. Cervetto looking to try to make it 3 wide, but he'll think better of it. A drag race going down the straightaway into turn number 1. They are side by side. The whole field's still side by side. Who's it going to be out of the whole shot?
George Atkinson gets off the racetrack a little bit, gets back on, and Mescanel makes the move.
Southwell, your leader, but Fancy looking to the inside.
We know Fancy is aggressive. Oh!
Cervetto, and who is that? Dana Moore.
Dana Moore and Cervetto, they've battled all race long
What did
off
we say?
the racetrack.
What did we say? Definitely an exciting one. Battle for the 2nd spot going in. The turn number 3. Muscanel
around. Mescanel gets hit,
And huge-
George Atkinson gets collected.
collecting in turn number 3. Wow. Muscanel sideways in the dirt and getting a piece of Atkinson.
Tommy, 2 major wrecks happening, but the top contenders were kind of left out. Atkinson had a great run today. Muscanel also
man.
in contention. But you know what?
Well,
You knew something had to happen.
Yes.
Things were going crazy. Now, I'm also interested, looking at this, Atkinson's car. I'm
He's
surprised
trying,
it's rolling.
but look at this side. Well, let's look over here. Look at the damage on Muscanel.
No, it turned into a speaker.
Losing the, yeah, it did. That was big damage. Holy cow, the dirt spread all over the asphalt.
Tommy, that was basically the 2nd and 3rd wreck we've ever seen in this division.
Muscanel got turned and almost took out our camera. Yeah. Now look at Cervetto over here in the 33 machine.
And Moore looks like he got out of the dirt. My goodness.
Moore, I think he tried to travel to Las Vegas in that one to hatch.
I expected more damage than that, but I'm sure
You're right.
things are bent.
Oh, that car took a hit when Muscanel stood up the track into that 65. He really had nowhere to go.
Now, Tommy, from what I can tell, I can't tell if there is contact that sent Muscanel around, but we clearly saw him turn.
There he goes.
And just like you said, he got into the dirt, almost took out our camera. I guess that was a good place to put it today.
Spin off and
Yeah.
2.
Well, definitely an interesting one.
33 off.
Holy cow.
This is going to take some cleanup. We'll be back for the restart. Ladies and gentlemen, we ain't done yet. Getting ready for a full restart to the shootout, Tommy.
The 5-lap duel in the desert here. Willow Springs International Raceway. Here it is. A full restart, of course, because of the fact that the caution came out before they completed that lap. So 5 laps to go and a couple of updates.
Yes, Tommy, we noticed that Steve Resnowicki no longer on track. We thought he'd be a contender for this win. Not going to happen. Atkinson off the racetrack, of course, major damage as well to Muscanel in the 22.
Yes.
And the 33 car is still sitting over there in the dirt.
He's going to be camping there for quite a while. The pace car getting ready there.
Dana Moore was able to return.
You're
That
right.
was impressive.
And Gary Dion. Gary Dion, that wreck actually helped him. He couldn't get his car fired, and now he's back running.
All right, Tommy.
The field is set.
Fancy and Southwell, they've been duking it out all race. Green flag in the air. Can Chase get past the two chasing him earlier?
And Dana Moore in the mix as well. Here we go. Another drag race going into turn 1. The whole shot's going to go to no one.
Nobody.
Gonna
They're
be
still door-to-door.
door-to-door drag race. Here they come into turn number 2.
Southwell with the advantage through turn number 2. And you see, here comes Chase.
3-car battling for the lead. Austin in the 4th spot. Moore in the 5th spot. I think it's going to be a 5-position deal for Moore today. He started 5th. He's in 5th. And they're going to be going through the dirt. I'm surprised that didn't screw anybody up.
Southwell slipped up a little bit.
Yes.
Fancy trying to close the door now. And Chase. 2 yellow cars, 2 Bs chasing the black.
That's right. So, this is, I left my outhouse open again.
Yes, you did.
No privacy.
We mentioned this. Greg Austin now in the 4th position. Great run for him today.
Yes. Dana Moore, like I was saying, I think is just going to be the 5-car in the 5th spot, no matter what today.
Well, the number 59, Todd Southwell, now opening up a pretty big lead here. Hey, he's not wasting any time getting away, Tommy.
No, he's a veteran out here. He's gotten plenty of track time on this track.
I was going to say, his car didn't seem like it really wanted to turn there, though.
Here comes Fancy now.
with the run. And you talk about how aggressive this driver is.
We know how aggressive he can be, and he can smell victory right now, but he's got to chase down your leader.
4 laps to go.
Of course, he's in a spot where he's got to hold off the shootout winner as well, the Golden West Trailer Shootout Award winner.
Yeah, Gale Chase there. We know he's had a fast car. Looks like he was able to preserve some of his equipment. We hear some drivers say they'd like to get out up front, have no pressure from behind, and then take it easy. Maybe that's what Chase was doing earlier.
I noticed Chase running a higher groove, trying to keep the momentum up.
He's
and there
coming
he
up to Fancy.
He's going to start knocking on that trunk.
We have a 3-car battle for the lead. Fancy, you see again, goes in a little bit low on Southwell.
Southwell sideways. They're using that loud pedal, the fans up on their feet. And I think we're going to have 2 separate battles on this one.
I think so. You see Austin starting to get pressure from Dana Moore, who surprisingly was able to make it back out after sliding way off the track. I think he was on his way to Nevada.
We do mention during the 15-lap shootout that a lot of these guys are playing with their setup and riding it out.
Oh, Fancy nicks the dirt.
And that could be devastating.
Chase is off track. He's going.
Holding
Dukes
on
of
to
Hazzard.
And he's taking a shortcut is what he's doing.
I guess so.
And that was the longest.
we had a camera there last race.
That happens to be the longest slide and spin out I've ever seen in my life. Ever.
Well, Gale Chase, a guy who's up there in points and won the first race out here. The race isn't done
man.
yet.
And now it's down to 2. Wow. Well, Gale Chase around in turn 8.
He tried to hold on to
9.
it, Tommy. He tried.
He was stuck in that dirt.
That moves Dana Moore up into the podium spot.
Yeah.
And Austin back into the 4th. Fancy is there.
Oh, man. This is the shootout right here. This is the shootout after the shootout. This is the duel in the desert.
Clips him. There's contact for the lead.
More contact.
Oh, boy. They're pushing and shoving for the win.
Look at the donut on the side of that 59 machine. He's going to get paint, and the yellow flag's out in this one.
Is that a full course caution?
It could just be a corner caution.
For what, though?
Probably to give a little warning to what's going on. No,
it looks like a full course.
It's a full course caution out here. Gale Chase not able to get that car fired, and who knows how much dirt is in turns 8 and 9 right now.
Well,
So-
Tommy, I don't think either of these drivers care about the yellow flag right now, neither do we.
So
But there is a full chorus caution on the track. Gale Chase. Tommy, this just
Man,
reset
there he is sitting right there.
these guys needed it. But yeah. Whew. Hey, the race ain't over yet.
this is going to be the finale of finales here. The duel in the desert here in Rosemont, California. 4 cars left on track, 3 of them battling it out for the win. And we will find out how this one shapes up. Here we go. Green flag is out. Just a handful laps remaining.
Tommy, gotta watch out for Fancy. We've seen him getting into the bumper of Southwell, letting him know he's there.
Yes.
Who knows? Dana Moore might get this one if these two get too aggressive with each
Very
other.
true. Dana,
Dion is still in the race too.
he is. A career day for Dion.
We mentioned how some cars are still sitting off track. The 33 machine you see way in the back there, that car's just worse for wear.
Left out in the desert.
Fancy really pulls on Southwell going into this turn right here, up into the hill, the mountaintop.
The mountaintops of Rosemont, overlooking the entire Antelope Valley, and down the hill they go.
Dana Moore swung it wide out of that turn, losing some time to lead. I can't imagine his tires are doing that well either.
I think the 3 of these guys, Moore was in the dirt at one point in this race. These two have been
Continue to go at
flipping
it.
and sliding all race long, battling with each other. These two, remember, have been battling all race
They were
long.
battling for second when Chase was your leader. They're battling now for the lead. Here comes Fancy again. Southwell drifts up.
Way
Fancy's
high.
coming.
And here he comes down the straightaway with a massive run.
Do you think Southwell is trying to set up the straightaway there? I don't
I
know.
have no idea.
His car seems like it's not turning as well as Fancy's.
I've never seen anything like that before.
Never.
Never in my life.
Here comes Fancy.
And I don't think I've ever seen a battle like this one on a road course.
You realize there's pretty much 2 cars on the track. I mean, when you consider that one of them's flown off the racetrack and Dion had trouble starting earlier.
Big time fatigue in this hot day in the desert, so you could expect that.
Porter might be happy his car didn't start.
Very true. Or kicking himself. Either one. Well, up into turn 3 they come. Fancy, we saw him make some aggressive battling there before, and nose to tail is how they
We knew Corey Fancy is excited. Tommy, is now a good time to bring up the first race of the year, 2013 SWS season? The
What are you
fact
saying?
that we had a photo finish.
What are you saying right now?
I'm just bringing it up that these 2 drivers are going at it harder than ever. Who knows what we can expect in this finish? Only just several laps to go.
Well, we're coming into the corner that Southwell does not have the corner down, or he's trying something new.
He's trying. I don't know. I really don't know. You see Fancy once again close in on everybody. And by everybody, I mean your leader. That's pretty much everybody left.
They're drafting.
So
Top Southwell out front. Here comes Fancy. He's looking
Fancy's
to the
trying to make
outside.
the move. 2 laps to go.
Wow, this has been the best 2 cars battling all race long. Now remind you that Todd Southwell in that 59 machine started 3rd, and Corey Fancy started 6th in this race.
Yeah, Fancy had to work his way up through the field before getting to battle with the 59 machine of Todd Southwell. I gotta say though, it seems like Southwell has the upper hand in this one right now.
But Corey just giving it his car and tires time to cool down before the last spurt? The white flag's coming out next time by.
That's the funny thing about a road course is you have time to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe let everything kind of cool down for this. But Tommy, these guys are racing for the win. Fancy sideways.
The young gun Fancy in that 29 machine.
How about Greg Austin able to make it back on the racetrack?
That's right, motoring back along, and who knows, lap traffic can always come into play.
Southwell kind of wiggling there down the straightaway. They're carrying a lot of speed. You can't really tell from this angle how fast these guys are going into this turn. But Fancy's there. This is as close as he's ever been. He's going to look to the inside for the win.
This is a daring pass. He can wash up, and he does, if you will, a slide job, steals the spot.
Fancy takes the lead.
Greg Austin, hoodless. But here comes Southwell.
Southwell battling back to the inside. White flag in the air. They're going to be side by side going into turn number 1.
And
Oh, boy.
into turn 1, it's Southwell. No, he
Southwell goes too hard into turn number 1, goes off track.
Wow. Well, the best battle on track
Oh my God! Hey,
has just concluded.
Southwell gave it his all there.
Awesome, awesome stuff in this Toyota Southwest.
They're not done yet.
No.
From what I've seen today. From what I've seen today.
That is the best way to put it.
Corey Fancy, though, if he has any radio communication, I'm sure they're telling him just bring it home.
But you know, Corey's not like that. He's going wide open right
There's the
down.
spotter.
Yeah, that's yeah. Wow. Well,
What a race.
and Todd Southwell. Hey, this race isn't over, but I mean it's pretty much over.
He's probably, if I were him, I'd cut the entire course right now. I'd take out
That's
your porta
true.
potty.
That's true. Hey, no. Please don't do that.
Why, are you still in there?
Yeah.
You need to
it's
get
all
a pit report from some point of that.
I just need to duct tape that thing one of these days.
Well, Tommy, let's bring Corey Fancy home.
Corey Fancy going into turn number 8, wide open, rolling through this one on a hot day in the desert here on June 22nd, 2013, round number 3 in the Toyota Southwest Super Late season. Say that 5 times fast. Here he comes down the straightaway, your winner, Corey Fancy in that 29 machine, collecting the checkers, and this one.
That's 3 winners in 3 races so far in the 2013 season. And hey, want to actually mention that was the, I believe, first time Southwell's made it in 2nd place.
You're right. First
So-
race out in this series for him.
See, what my statistician was right.
That's right.
He just didn't give me all the details.
Well, Corey
and how
Fancy-
about Dana Moore?
Yes.
Third
Dana
place
Moore.
finisher.
Off in the dirt at one time with 33 machine. Frank, wow.
Servetto, yeah. He's Servetto away. Frank Wow, I think is what we should call him. at
Frank,
this
well, that's his nickname because that was a heck of a spin.
Tommy, another Southwest Super Late race, and another time where we're on our feet, like we always are.
July 20th is the next time you'll see these guys out here on the Speedway for round number 4 of their season. $10 tickets, you come in through the gate and you get the whole lay of the land out here. $10 tickets, and then if you have your kids, of course, they 8 and under are free. Now for the schedule, it usually goes, the gates open at 8 and the racing at 3. And for the complete list of events, WillowSpringsInternationalRaceway.com and Toyota Southwest Superlates, ToyotaSWSRacing.com. Well, what a race, what a day, and we'll see you again here July 20th.
Low budget TV.